Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Mark's Allotment. I thought I'd just bring you up to speed on the greenhouse situation. So I'm just going to turn the camera away from me and then hopefully be able to hear my voice a bit more clearly. Okay, I don't know if, so as I explained, I've purchased some disposable nappies from Aldi's, and new ones in fact, obviously, and took out the woolly materials in this inside, which contains a gel which obviously soaks up liquid. Now then, it does seem to be working. Now obviously it all depends on how hot the weather is, etc., but I'm certainly not watering as much as I would normally. You know, it's, as you can see, that this water's been in here good 2 or 3 days, so obviously it's not losing the water as much. Now then, as I say, because somebody did ask me if I was using soiled nappies. I can't remember the chap's name, but anyway, thanks for the comment. No, they are brand new, and the nappies are brand new, and no, I wouldn't use soiled ones. However, I do use urine as a fertilizer. Now then, some people might think, oh, it's a bit squeamish about it, but frankly, it's a good fertilizer. You know, mix it down with water. I'm not sure of the ratios, but you'd have to check that yourself. You can go online on YouTube or online. I'm sure you'll find the answer to that. So yeah, and it's very good, especially for brassicas. I don't use it for tomatoes, but I think I might give it a go this year. Now, yeah, it's going back to how well the watering system is working. What I should have done, of course, was done a controlled test by having one of the plants without the nappy material or the gel in it, just to see if there's any difference. But there we are, I forgot. So but as I say, I think, judging on the amount of watering I'm doing now, which is like every 3 days or even more, you know, it seems to be working. Right, now then, I don't know now, I'm just going to show you. As I say, I'm starting the plants getting bigger, starting to train them up around the string. Now obviously I've had to wait till the plants get to a certain length, and then obviously now I'm just training them around, and I'll just show you on this one. So all I do is very gently, of course, just I'm trying to do this one-handed, which is not easy. And as I say, and that's probably more than enough for now. Just go over to this one. When you get to a piece which that's about 8-9 inches long, then there's usually enough flexibility in the plant to put around the string. Now, I think I mentioned about using the leaves to help support that. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the string to go. It's a bit awkward. Hope I don't break it. No, I'm going to leave that actually. I don't want to risk it. But as you can see, the leaf is actually putting pressure against the string, which helps to support it. There's a side shoot, as I say. Side shoots there, right in the corner. Pinch him out. Now then, can I do it with this one? Yeah, there we are. Perhaps I can do it with that one. There we are. Now, as I say, the leaf then, because there's pressure on it, the leaf is taking the pressure and gripping. As it goes up, you know, that'll grip the string. There's a little bit of a side shoot. I'll just pinch him out a little bit. And for those who don't know, if they can't tell the difference between side shoot and the fruitlets or the flower parts of it, obviously this is the flowering part, as you can see. Now these are it's where your tomatoes come from, of course, because this is for the benefit of people who don't know how to grow tomatoes. And as I explained, that's where one of the leaves were, or the side shoot has been cut off, and it's not quite half, but it's getting on to about halfway up between the stalk. Sorry, between the leaf and the next leaf. So between the two, you'll get the fruiting part. All right. So obviously, don't whatever you do, don't cut those off. You'll have no tomatoes. Now I just spotted something. You can just see at the end of the fruiting part starting to produce leaves, and it will do that. Not quite sure why. Perhaps it's too much goodness for it. It's too much feed in the water, because I have been putting feed in. Now I'll let that get a little bit bigger, but eventually when that gets bigger, I'll do it on this one, but I'll just pinch that off, because I just want all the goodness going into producing flowers and ultimately tomatoes. Again, just to explain, I chop off about 1/3 of the leaves. So chop about 1/3 off. That's to reduce transpiration, or the loss of moisture through. But obviously you've got to leave enough for photosynthesis. So but I've done this for a few years, and it doesn't seem to harm the plant. Now then, I'm just going to get a knife, because I spotted earlier a side shoot. Now I explained, when you're cutting a side shoot, it's very cramped in here. Now sometimes you get I don't know if you can see, but you get a side. There's the main stem here. Here's the blunt side, actually. That's the main stem, and then this leaf, and in the corner, lo and behold, there's the side shoot. Now, that's the leader, of course. If I was to cut that off accidentally, as I explained, all is not lost. All I would need to do then is let that side shoot grow, and that would take over the position of the leader, and then just let that grow. But obviously I don't want to do that if I can have it, so I'm going to cut this one now, cutting to the leaf rather than to the stalk. I don't know if I can do it one-handed. A very sharp knife. I've cut it a bit. I'll just pinch it out with the other. Now, as I say, there we are. Now, normally I would pinch. There we are. There's another side shoot there. Yeah, I would normally pinch these out when they're small, so that you can pinch them out and not having to cut them out. But sometimes you miss one, and the side shoot will get as thick as that or even more. So then you won't pinch that out. You'll have to cut him. All right. So yeah, I'm just going to do a little bit more trimming here. Cut about 1/3 off. I'll clean up after. And I say, just as he's growing, just train him around the string. Now, eventually, it'll get to a point where you don't want it to grow anymore. Basically for space purposes. Then just cut off the leader and keep monitoring the side shoots. And now, because the fruits are starting to, the flowers are starting to form, now is the time to start feeding. I'll pinch a bit, cut a bit more of that one and that one. Now, cutting off this does a couple of things, as I say, about aiding or stopping the plant losing too much water, but also if you're in a cramped space, it cuts down on the overcrowding, and yeah, so you don't want the plants getting too big for their boots. Right, I think that's about it. I think I mentioned in the last video on the actual allotment, turn back to me, on the last allotment video, I think I said something about putting collars around my brassicas, And anyway, that the reason for that, of course, is to stop the cabbage root fly from getting at the plants, because apparently the fly will come in, plant an egg near the base of the plant, the cabbage plant, and then when it hatches, the grub will then burrow down and then get to the roots. So by putting the collars in, you know, hopefully stop that happening. The only problem is, of course, if they've got to the plant before you, because you know, obviously they could find your plants where you've been propagating them. If they've already laid an egg on the plant before you plant it out, transplant them, then you know you're stuffed basically. I used to use what was it? An insecticide called Cybol, or Sybol, S-Y-B-O-L, I believe. But of course it's been banned now. But it was brilliant because all I would do was soak it in the root ball. I'd soak the root ball in a solution, obviously not neat, and then just plant it, and you'd have no problems for the entire growing season. Right, here's my wife's basil. Very nice too. Right, I think so I've just to remind myself. So training the tomatoes around. Just do this one as well. I've got to be very careful. Obviously, two-handed is much easier, but there we are. That's another one done. There we are. Now I mentioned on that I saw, it was a program I saw. Now the program was a commercial tomato growing unit in somewhere in the region of East Anglia, I believe, or up around that area. That's right, because they were growing sugar beet, and the process of producing sugar from sugar beet produces a lot of byproducts, one being carbon dioxide, and they were using that to pump into the greenhouses, and which obviously plants love carbon dioxide. It's one of the feeds that they use, which is what obviously they pull out of the atmosphere, and that's what they're doing. And their tomato plants were something like 12-15 feet long, or tall rather. I mean, amazing. So you know, if it works for them, I don't see why it shouldn't work for me. But obviously I don't have to grow my plants to 12 or 15 feet long. Right, I'm going to sign off for now. Any comments about what I'm doing, please leave a comment, and I will endeavour to answer it and get back to you as soon as possible. Bye for now.